Your posture during presentation says a lot about you. Show that you are confident and know what you are talking about. That way you can get the audience interested in your talk. Convey a normal posture and do not let your posture convey nervousness, even if you feel nervous. For example, if you are behind a podium or a desk, stand erect and look at your audience while speaking. Try not to lean on your desk too much, for it clearly conveys your discomfort to others. Even if you have to read from a script because the matter you are presenting requires you to state some facts that cannot be memorized, try to stand erect as you speak and look at the audience when you are completing a sentence or in between sentences. In case you are making a presentation and not giving a speech, walk around on the stage while talking and make sure that your movement conveys a confident disposition. Drooping shoulders while standing behind a podium often make you look nervous or disinterested. Do not let your audience see you that way while making a presentation. Be confident and let your posture show it. A pleasant demeanor is always welcome anywhere. Keep this in mind whenever you make a speech or presentation. We often tend to focus too much on the presentation when we are on stage, and it is easy to get into a serious disposition and display a stern look. While it is important to take your presentation seriously, you must remember that you are presenting in front of an audience. People like being treated nicely, and if you maintain a pleasant demeanor throughout your speech, you will leave a good impression, for your audience will feel that they are being treated nicely by the speaker. Do not ever get irritated, even if someone in the audience provokes you or is testing your nerves. It may not seem that important, but if you pay careful attention to good speakers, you will notice that they are always friendly with their audience and keep the audience interested by carrying on a pleasant demeanor. Unless you possess very good vocabulary and a good command of grammar, try to keep your language simple during a speech or presentation. You can use some choosy words during your presentation, but their usage has to be consistent, and it should not look like you are trying to throw in some high-tech words here and there. People with a good command over their language can intersperse their speech with great vocabulary, but in their case, the usage looks natural and not out of place. In case your language skills are normal, limit your speech to simple language. Also keep in mind the audience you are speaking to. If your audience consists of extremely qualified individuals, good usage of language during presentation is expected. However, if your audience are all simple folks, they would appreciate plain, easy-to-understand, simple language. When you deliver a presentation, make sure that your audience can hear you. Your voice should be loud and firm. It should be loud enough for everyone in the audience to be able to hear you speak, and at the same time, it should not appear that you are shouting at the top of your lungs. A loud, clear voice is good to hear, but a shout or a scream can be annoying. Keep this in mind when you present, for your audience expects you to acknowledge them. Apart from voice and audibility, the tone in which you present holds the key to a good presentation. If you simply read out your speech in a monotone, many in the audience will lose interest, and some may even show irritation at having to put up with your speech. Vary your voice and tone from time to time, and this way, not only will the audience be interested in your speech, but you too will find it inspiring to present. Keep this in mind when you practice, and over time you will notice that you are able to accomplish this without difficulty. Body language is a key component of good public speaking. Your performance, and in particular, the movement of your limbs and your facial expression, say a lot about your presentation skills. A stiff posture with absolutely no movement of limbs can diminish the interest of the audience in your speech. At the same time, simply flaying your arms around can irritate some people in the audience. The movement of your arms should be in sync with your speech. For example, if you are referring to something small or big, show it with your hands. Again, if you mention some distressing or joyful event, let your facial expression show it. Also, if possible, try to walk around the stage a bit while you make your presentation. A pleasant demeanor with synchronous body movement on stage will make you a good speaker and presenter. Delivery encompasses all elements that make for a good presentation. You need to make your presentation attractive to the audience. The manner in which you deliver your speech can leave a lasting impression on the audience. A good speaker can make an average script sound like a great speech. Do not speak too fast, for some people in the audience may not catch what you are saying. At the same time, do not speak too slowly, for some in the audience may start feeling drowsy. Speak crisp and clear, in a voice that is not too loud, but audible to everyone in the audience. Back up your speech with good body language and facial expressions. Even if you don't move around the stage or do not look at your audience frequently, vary your voice and tone and show passion for what you are saying. It will leave a good impact. Style of a presentation is just as important as delivery. In case your presentation involves slides, structure the content in such a manner that everything flows smoothly. Each slide should be a continuation of the preceding slide, and not something random thrown in between. Make sure you link the topics and subtopics together, and have some examples. In case you are just making a speech without slides, structure the content of your speech in a methodical manner. First and foremost, decide what you want to say, and then organize your speech in such a way that everything flows in a logical manner, and the audience is able to anticipate what you are going to say next. No matter what topic you speak on or where you speak, it is absolutely essential to engage the audience throughout your speech. If you make a speech without looking at your audience, even once during your speech, many in the audience will be delighted when you conclude your speech, and all for the wrong reasons. So, you need to develop a habit of keeping your audience engaged whenever you make a presentation. Asking a rhetorical question in between sentences is a good way to keep the audience interested. If you pay attention to the speeches of good speakers, you will notice them use phrases like, "Listen to this," before they mention something which they want the audience to pay attention to. Immediately, you will notice many in the audience paying close attention. Also, be prepared to take questions and handle interruptions if you want to be a good speaker. If the audience interrupt your speech with questions, it means they are paying attention, and it is a good sign. In case you think being interrupted may affect your speech, let your audience know that you will answer all questions after concluding your speech. Either way, you will be considered a good speaker. After all, it is response of your audience that will decide whether you are a good speaker or not. So, keep the audience interested in your speech. All the above-mentioned elements of a good speech can be acquired over time with diligent hard work. You will not get everything in a day, but over time, with sustained effort, you will get there and transform yourself into a good speaker and presenter.